if you had to put a percentage kind of rating on it, of those 100 starts, how many times did you have the side plat?
I don't know what I was saying now.
Nobody knows about it.
We've got the first start.
Yeah. Season 5, and the first time we've got on record Alma Kapalma snorting. Settling, ladies and gentlemen.
We've all come such a long way in 2 seasons, haven't we?
Yeah. If a chicken goes in like one language, surely that's the same in another. Is it? Or do they have accents?
Do they go?
How does a French cow moo?
Le moo. La io. Somehow, we're back. Welcome to the Good, the Scaz, the Rugby, brought to you by Vodafone for our 5th season. Yay! Can you even? We last met on the pitch at Sandy Park in Exeter. I was wearing my red suit. Mo had just lifted the PWR trophy. Scaz was wearing, at one point, a bald cap. And an awful lot has happened since then. Ilona Maher has changed not just the face of women's rugby, but I think the sport in general, because Reese Witherspoon now knows who we are. So we love her for that. She has said that she wants to join us over here next summer for some fun. So who knows? New Zealand won the Olympic Sevens for a second time in a row. Congratulations to Canada and the USA, who medaled as well in the 40-degree heat in Paris in front of 66,000 people. And you two have beaten both France and the Black Ferns 2 weeks in a row in front of 41,523 people at Twickenham, no less. And you've just spent, 29 weeks together?
Yeah. Feels like it.
Feels like, yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Many weeks together.
You've roomed.
No, it's not actually 29 weeks, is it?
No, it's
obviously.
like 4, 5, 6.
No, 10.
You tell
2,
us.
3, 4, 5, 6.
3, 4, 5, 6.
And we're now so in sync that we just like finish each other's sentences.
We have spent a lot of time
Kinda
together.
Okay.
We've been in camp, I think, 7 weeks.
Yeah.
Should we say that?
Mhm.
7 weeks, and we do room. So, yeah. I reckon delirium hit week.
Hit last week.
Do you reckon?
When we were playing like tuk-tuk and that with the girls.
What happened?
I can't remember, but remember we were just, everyone was like losing the plot. And we were talking to Maud and she didn't understand what we were on about. You really need to get this for this story to make sense.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
She was asking what that word was. I can't remember the word and I don't know if I can say it. There we are.
Not servile.
No,
it was a different
definitely
word.
not that.
We've
One
been
that's
learning
not
words. Mo has this new thing where she Googles a word whenever she hears it. I don't think I've ever seen you do this before.
No, I normally know the words that are said, but if I don't understand, because quite often people say like really big, expansive words, which is also an expansive word. Sorry. But yeah, if I don't know it, then I will Google to try and understand what the sentence was. But I do try and do it slyly. So I'm glad that you now have pointed that out to all of our listeners.
Well, I mean, I think it's really good because you're learning. Every day is a school day.
Yeah, but I'd never take it in. That's the issue.
Well, I mean, I use servile now and you knew what that was.
What
Picked
is
that
it?
up from earlier.
Servile. Go on.
Yeah, come on.
Which one was that? Was it? Oh, kissing ass.
There we go.
Kissing bleep. Sorry, I listened back to an episode on the way down. Season 3, actually, episode 1. And Scaz bleeped herself in it, and it actually made me howl in the car. She was telling this story, and she like literally went, da-da-da-da. Yeah, and I was like, bleep off, or something like that. And it was honestly the best thing ever. So very
We've
good.
all come such a long way in
We
2
have,
seasons, haven't we?
Yeah.
On the topic of listening back to episodes, I actually got a message from someone over the summer that I sent on to producer Shira. Her name is Jill Shearer. And
Any
she
relation
said
to Alan?
she's listening back to GSR podcasts from 2022 while she waits for the 24-25 season to start. It's hard to believe how far women's rugby's come in 2 years. Props to you guys for making it visible and continuing to promote and encourage these fabulous women. Thank you. Keep it up. From a 60-year-old woman who got hooked on rugby through trailing kids around the Midlands every winter Sunday morning for longer than I care to remember. Thank you so much, Jill Shearer.
Oh, what a legend.
Isn't that a nice message to get?
So
That's very
nice.
kind.
I worry about Jill having to listen back to those old episodes though.
Yeah.
If you did tune in now and you went back to season 1, I think it would be, you'd probably not make it to season
It's not the
5.
same thing.
No, it's not the same at all.
At all. Big news on the pitch. Our Mo has been co-captaining, or vice-captaining, sorry, not co-captaining.
Did you see that?
Did you see her? Then she nearly jumped out of her chair.
Sarah Orchard did that on the pod the other
Did
day
she?
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm so used to thinking about
'cause
you as
you and Zoe.
co-captain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's because of me and Zoe. But me and Zoe, yeah, the big vice captains. It was because like Meggie got injured, so Meg Jones would have been vice captain. So it's kind of bittersweet because obviously we'd much rather be touring with little Meg as well. But luckily we get to go have her on here.
Did you hear that podcast episode?
Which one?
The one that her and Marley Packer did with
Did she hear it?
No, I actually didn't.
Of
Sorry.
course she didn't.
one of the moments of
No.
that conversation is Sarah Orchard making exactly that mistake that I just made. And then saying to
Did
Mo,
Mo jump down her throat as well?
quite earnestly, says to Mo, so Mo, I just can't believe you've never vice-captained or captained the Red Roses. You've been around for so long, you've got so many caps, and you're such an exemplary leader at club. And then Mo starts answering the question quite vulnerably and says, I just don't genuinely think anyone's thought of me that way before.
Oh, Mo.
Fact.
What does Marley say?
I also said, I can't remember. What did she say?
Then Marley goes, well, you've also just not been selected in the starting lineup enough.
Did she say that?
Did
No,
she
I think
say
I
that?
said that.
No, Marley said that.
Oh, Marley said that.
Oh, savage.
That's awkward. Right, I need to listen back to that episode.
Have
Clearly,
you listened back to the episode?
And then you
Mo?
said the real Marley Packer's here.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh goodness. There we are.
There we are.
Well, it's kind of true. Do you know what I mean? Kind of a fact. They never really liked me, did they? So, just nice to get to get the show.
But they do now.
Yeah, they do.
Should
now.
we start season top 5 positively?
Yeah, shall we?
Yeah. Should we look forward?
No, but we are. We are.
It is. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. No, it's really cool. It is really cool. Obviously, like I said, would love Meg to be there more than anything. So it is bittersweet, but super cool. And obviously, you've had the privilege of captaining your country before as well. So following in good footsteps and all that.
She's doing a very good job, to be fair.
It's a team effort, though, eh? Like
Oh, yeah.
everyone's so
There's like
good.
a leadership group, and obviously there's like people that own different areas of the field and all that sort of stuff. But obviously between Marley, Mo, and Zoe, and Mo, in the best possible way, this isn't a negative, is a vocal player. So it's good that she's able to now do that with the VC attached to her.
I asked Marley this at the Gloucester game because I was working it, and I said to her
Chirpsy
afterwards,
as hell is what I wanted to say. But
I just want to fix things.
before you guys came off the pitch at halftime in Gloucester, you and Zoe and Marley and who else was it?
Holly Aitchison.
Holly Aitchison. You guys had a little chat there. Is that the leadership group? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like how the game's going, what we feel like the pressure points are, what we need to fix, if anything.
Before you get to the change
Before
room,
we
the
get to
four
the
of
change
you
room.
already like go.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like that time to like decompress, say your thoughts on the way in, then meet up with like the coaches and that in the changing room, and then obviously filter the same messages out to the girls. Because if I think as a 9, like you feel quite a lot of that pressure because obviously you're either going forward or you're not. So there's quite a lot that you can feel, but obviously wider out, they might be feeling something totally different. So I might think like we're under so much pressure, I want to get rid of this ball, like kick it down there, whatever. But actually, if we just pass 2 more times, the wingers have got all the space in the world. So that's when it's the check of like, yeah, you feel that, but this is what's happening out here. Okay. And then just making sure we're all on the same page. So, yeah.
the wingers always think they've got all the space.
I was going to say,
yeah, to be fair.
when do they not think this?
Yeah.
And then another very serious rugby question, Scazzy, that we need to address about your 100th start
Yeah.
out of 113 caps. If you had to put a percentage kind of rating on it, of those 100 starts, how many times did you have the side plat? How consistent was that as a
Do you
feature?
know what? Early on,
You were a cornrow girl.
there was a couple of cornrows floating about.
she was. Why haven't we got
When
that photo?
Jazz got that picture earlier, I was like,
my
oh no,
God,
it
I've
could be
got
anything.
a perfect one for you. I think every week we do the podcast. Right, so for
The new
everyone
old
that's
school
listening,
photo.
we obviously did the old school photo. Can you sign this at the start? But every week we do the podcast, I might try and
Do a different one.
do a different one.
Yeah, Scaz's
She's got a
hair,
wild chubby
early.
face in that one as well.
I've
haven't
got
you?
still like a little bit of puppy fat, just big cheeks. I was at uni. I was living my best life.
She gives a peace sign like a
You
real
day.
millennial.
You day. In my short socks.
In my short socks and my
My
side
side
parting.
friend. But she looked glam for her 100th start.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of caps with the old side parting. I'm just holding on long enough that it comes back around again, like everything seems to be doing at the moment.
Apparently skinny jeans are coming back in soon.
Stop.
No, yeah, girls were telling me.
Skinny.
Already?
Yeah, already they're coming back round. Jess said I'm not doing it, but apparently they're coming back round.
They're
low
just trying
cut-
to wind you up to then take them
Yeah, I
out
know.
of you, I
I've packed
reckon.
them in my suitcase. It's going to be awkward if they're not out. If they're not back in yet.
ankle
but
socks and Scaz Mo.
Yeah,
Yeah. See you in
100%.
Vancouver.
Rips.
Yeah, rips.
The Katie daley-mclean review or reflection on your 100 starts at the live show on Saturday. Do you want it?
I don't know.
I'd like it.
She said she came in as an 18-year-old and has started every single game she's fit for. The 13 that you didn't start is just returning from injury scars. Very flippantly. Just
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
a fair point.
you have honestly no idea of those stats until you get to that point and then someone drags them out of the archives, because I had no idea. You don't keep a track of
I
that.
wondered where they were dragging them out of there. Finish your sentence.
Calm down.
The archives.
Yeah, you have no ideas until somebody says it.
why are you laughing at the archives?
No, because I thought she was going to say drags them out of their arsehole or something like that. That's why I found
Why
it
would I
funny. Because I thought that's where you were going. And then you pause and go, drags them out of the archives. It's just not where. We're two very different people. Continue. They dragged them out of the archives.
You guys
And
really
you
are
had no
finishing
idea.
each other's sentences. I mean,
Yeah.
she knew what you were going to say.
Yeah, she did, didn't she?
Yeah,
And I
she was
swerved,
reading your mind.
honestly. I don't know what I was saying now.
Nobody knows about it.
We got a first start.
Yeah. Season 5 and the first time we got on record Alma Kapalma snorting. Settle in, ladies and gents. All a high five.
I thought Katie daley-mclean was on a roll on Saturday, but the two of you are just on another level at the moment.
Brilliant.
Great. Okay, so I'm going to try and not snort for the rest of the episode as much. We did do a great live quiz, trivia quiz with everyone who came to the Cabbage Patch. Well, actually just 2 people. And we really need everyone who comes to our live shows to do more of the serious trivia prepping, because Helen from Newbury won the quiz again.
Yes, Helen.
Congratulations, Helen, on
Did she get them all
expecting.
right?
She has an encyclopedic knowledge.
Really?
Yeah, that means that she
How do
knows
people
everything.
do that? Like, does she train her brain? Do you know what I mean? You know, like those apps. No. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? Guys, that's just a serious question. But you can get apps for that, can't you? Like, do people do
Yeah,
that?
brain training.
Like memory apps.
So one of the questions was, when did the
She
Black
specifically
Ferns...
clicked the women's rugby section.
No, not the point.
This-
As in, does she train her brain to be able to store that knowledge, or is she just wired that way? Helen, get back to us.
Helen, let us know.
This is not going to
please.
be in Train Your Brain. The first question was, when did England women first play New Zealand women in a test? You're looking at the prep because you-
1994.
Yeah, it is.
94, I'm guessing.
And you? Closest date wins.
I do know this, but I just don't have that insight. I've not been training my brain enough. It's not in there anymore.
You didn't do Train Your Brain.
98.
Give us a number.
98.
And you went?
She's just stalling because
94.
she can't work out the maths.
You went 94.
94.
Okay, well, you win.
What was
Why?
the date?
97.
Damn it, I was going to say 97.
Yeah, of course.
The 30,
No, always
13th of
does
August,
that.
97. In Burnham, New Zealand.
I was going to say September, not August. So.
The Black Ferns ran in 10 tries that day, 67-0.
Ooh, no.
Ouchies. Ultimate Women's Rugby Fan Quiz. Question number 2. How many times have England played against New Zealand, excluding Saturday?
32.
31. Damn it. Did you know
Scaz
that?
wins again.
Did you know that? Wow.
Scaz wins again. Do you want a third one?
Yes, please.
Just to see if we can give you one. Of those 32 games, how many times?
says.
How many times have England won?
12.
9.
Wait, did I read it wrong?
It's literally in the notes.
It says 9, no? Won by England, 9.
In England.
It's 12.
Does the brain training help you read tables?
I
or
was going to
what?
say you should read the tables better, Mo.
Yeah.
Of the 8 games that, so England have won 9 times in England. England have only won 3 times in New Zealand. And at neutral venues, this is where it gets really interesting. England is 0 from 8.
Ooh, really?
That's
At
a damning
neutral
stat.
venues,
I thought you were joking when you said about this is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
0 from 8 on neutral venues. 2 of those matches in Canada. 6 were during World Cups.
That's not true because we beat them in WXV. Oh, which was in New Zealand.
Not a neutral venue.
Understood.
Does this add anything to your motivation heading
maybe
over
it's-
to Canada?
Maybe
Maybe it is
good,
the motivation now.
good practice in a way. Do you know what I mean? Not playing them where one of us has a home advantage.
But it hasn't worked out well for the Red Roses previously
Therefore, good practice.
to try and straighten out that stat. There we go.
There you go.
Okay, it took
Nice.
us a while, but we got there. Very nice. What is interesting is that the Black Ferns have 250 caps. You guys have 800, thanks to our Scaz contributing 113 of the 800.
What was the stat like on the bench of the France game? It was something like we had
Yeah.
about 260 caps coming off the bench of France game or something daft.
It's wild. And there were 2 starters on the bench on the France game that had 0.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine being on that French bench?
Wild.
They had some experience on their bench, though.
They
Vanier
did.
and
Yeah.
Bourdon Sansus
Yeah.
were on there.
Yeah, but then the rest of that bench was very, very experimental, I would say. So New Zealand has come off a pack 4. If you weren't there on Saturday, this is exactly what I was explaining. New Zealand has come off pack 4, the first time they haven't won pack 4. They were beaten by Canada, who then went on to win that tournament, who now must go into WXV, certainly as contenders at least, because they're playing at home. They have beaten this New Zealand side. And the New Zealand side right now does not have the same kind of reliable experience that you guys have in your ranks. So Canada has home advantage. You guys have 802 Red Roses caps. What does this say to you about where this New Zealand team are right now on their journey?
I think you can look at it one of two ways. Like obviously, they've lost a lot of their like Coxedge, who has ran the show for them for so many years, but they've also got a really exciting young backline and pack that want to play rugby, and like the heritage of New Zealand rugby is throw the ball around, like enjoy what you're doing, like a bit instinctive, that sort of thing. So I don't necessarily think they'll be too worried about it, because when it comes down to it, like they know how to play rugby, they know how to go forward, they know how to throw the ball around and stuff. But there is that little chink where if you can get them in something like that, and you can almost dwell on like our experiences and pull back to that and where we need to go and why we're doing it and that sort of thing, and have people in the right position to be able to do that, then I think it is an interesting debate at the moment.
But also they're putting themselves in a position at the moment where those girls are gaining some
Really
unbelievable
valuable,
experiences. Like Twickenham 40,000. Like that doesn't come around every time you play international rugby. So like immediately that's one massive tick in a kind of an experience box.
100%.
WXV away from home. They're obviously, their whole trip is 6 weeks, I think, in terms of being away from home. That's going to replicate World Cup. So all these things that actually they're building into their programme are adding such valuable experience to potentially a lot of girls that haven't had it before. Therefore, only going to make them stronger, better. And ultimately, history tells us they're World Cup animals, aren't they? So as we both sink in our chairs and settees, but they're so good at peaking at the right time. So they obviously do something right.
Do you know what Amy Rule said on a podcast that I listened to with
Tell
Sam,
me.
by the way?
Tell me.
Remember that tour of theirs that didn't go so well the year before the World Cup in New Zealand?
Yeah, she said that was the...
She said that would have been the World Cup. Because
as
remember
in
that World Cup
it
was
wasn't for
postponed
COVID.
by a year, and that tour was initially going to be the World Cup, and she said it probably would have been a very unfortunate World Cup for us.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I would argue, well, would they have toured the year before and then gone to the World Cup, and would it have just repeated itself but a year earlier? You don't know, do you? But it is interesting. Goddamn COVID.
So the BBC wrote after the match their review of the match said, England comfortably defeated world champions New Zealand at the newly renamed Allianz Stadium to enhance their favourites tag heading into next year's home Women's Rugby World Cup. Did it feel comfortable? Is that the word you would use?
It wouldn't be the word I'd use. I don't know if you would use it. I guess it felt like you were probably never, once we got going, felt like you were never going to lose it, but that doesn't mean it's comfortable.
24-12 isn't comfortable?
I don't think anything is ever comfortable when you're getting whacked. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, fair point.
Maybe I'm taking that too
Is
literally.
this you talking about rugby just generally?
Yeah, like rugby is
It's
not
not
comfortable.
sport.
Full stop.
Yeah, have you watched too much?
But no, I think like obviously got out to a good start, got some points on the board. They were always going to come back into it at some point.
They had a hell of a lot of pressure on us in the first 20 as well.
Yeah.
And we managed to keep them out, which I think was massive for us. But like, it's just the game, isn't it? Like if they'd have gone 2 tries up, then you've just got to wrestle it back. Like, yeah, it was a good battle. It was a good battle.
And obviously that's their first game, warm-up game. It was our second warm-up game. Mental that they were warm-up games. Keep using, what are these? Air commas.
Yeah.
What are these?
Abbreviated.
Bunny ears.
Stop doing that now. But yeah, 2 like proper challenges to get everybody going.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting people going, KDM was really going about this on Saturday, which I find hysterical.
I'm sad it wasn't recorded, this whole pod, because it sounded fun.
She was on a roll. She was on one because of the Ferns hugging the king. She was desperately unhappy.
Can you do your best Geordie impression and reenact it for us?
And then I said to her, but he's
Well, that
their
was a
dad
no.
too.
Yeah. When you have that realisation, I think...
They do have the Union Jack on their flag. So they're allowed to hug the king or not. Scazzy?
If I'm honest, was under the impression no one was allowed to hug the king.
Yeah. I thought you just had to curtsy and there was like a way that you had to... What's the word? Greet.
No, but I think obviously the clip and the joy in his face was actually really nice, wasn't it? And obviously they asked permission, which is always very
It's
important.
important to get consent.
But yeah, I just don't think if that was us in that situation, would have
never.
dreamt of doing that. But we are English and we would have all curtsied like hell and probably kept staring at the very posh carpet.
Oh, yeah. I would have just been bowing my head.
Wouldn't have gone sub G.
No. Sup, G.
Sub G.
Sup, Dad. She said it was their dad too.
I'm impressed, bruv. That's what Ruby Tui said.
Wild. You got to respect it though, haven't you? Just like a little bit of jealousy in it that like wish you had that.
In it, G.
Yeah, 100%, bruv. That you had like, you had the balls to be able to be like, if I ever met the king, yeah, can I have a hug? You're right, G, can I have a hug? Do you know what I mean? I've never ever in a million years do it. Imagine my grandma.
Do you know who I want to have on the show?
Who?
Princess of Wales.
That would be,
That'd be so
epic.
good.
Didn't you meet her once doing rugby?
Didn't you do a line out with her?
No, I wasn't there.
Oh,
wasn't me.
you?
Oh, you missed
It
out.
was Boz. It was Boz. She was
What
buzzing.
a combo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of bots, what was that message that we got on the group?
We basically, what were we chatting about? I can't remember now.
So
Podding.
imagine random Tuesday morning WhatsApp group. There's a picture of, was it a picture or a video? Hannah Bottoman
And Amy Cocaine.
and Amy Cocaine sitting across from you guys at a table complaining because we've not invited them on the show.
Yeah, but we have. They've
Yeah.
both been on.
Both.
Yeah.
Did they forget this?
Yeah.
Not memorable.
Back in season 2 when
Yeah. Basically, we were chatting about something and then they started chuffing about the fact that we don't invite our friends on or
So-
something.
For the not well spoken, what does chuffing mean?
You know, chuntering, like moaning,
Nice.
grumbling.
Grumbling.
Moaning.
I didn't have
Chuntering.
my phone to Google it.
I'm
so I needed,
learning
yeah.
so many English words here
100%.
myself. Me and Mo, both of
They
us
were
are taking
across
notes.
from us just chuffing about the fact that they haven't been on the sofa. This grey
Okay.
sofa.
Well,
Unbelievable, Jeff.
Hannah Bottoman and Amy Cocaine, please do return whenever you feel like it.
We're going to bring them on after WXV, hopefully.
Not on the day that the Princess of Wales comes in, but it would be nice if,
Okay.
you know, like any other day, you're welcome.
And if we could pay Hannah Bottoman to come on, that would be great because she's struggling financially at the moment.
That just escalated.
Oh, guys.
Sorry,
We
what
have
is
a
a little more
story,
context.
I need
for
this reference.
Okay, so basically, Mitch has come in. He's allowed us to be a bit more free with our time. So on a Wednesday, I have time off. There's 5 of us that go out for food. So we've gone out for food a couple nights, and we've gone to this Italian restaurant. It's Bots, Amy, Scaz, me, and Abby. And who just said about it? I think
It
was
came to
Amy.
the end, and the bill came, and some people had starters, some people didn't do this, 2 drink, but and I just went, oh, should we just everyone happy to split it evenly? Of which then was it Abby?
I think it was either it was
Somebody
one of
went
them.
all cards on the table. So at that point we were all like, all right. So what we did was no one had a card, obviously, because 2024, but we had put our phones down on the table.
I still carry a card.
Yeah, Scaz only just added Apple Pay like 2 weeks ago. But anyway, carry on. Carry on. What is this you do with your phone?
It's such a lie, but if I defend myself, it just makes me look like a right knob.
Carry on.
Anyway, I've had hijacked your story. You carry on.
No, you
Cards
go.
on the table.
Yeah, so we put our phones on the
Phones.
table,
Phones.
Oh.
ask the waiter to pick one. That person then pays the whole bill. So it's basically like dinner roulette, bill roulette.
But Bots was like, she had a phone. She was the only one with a phone case. Or Scaz has got a phone case, but her phone's like half the size of everyone else's, so it doesn't really make a difference. So Bots is slightly bigger than everyone's and has writing on, and she was really flapping whether to take her
So
phone
I want to
case.
take my phone case off.
Should I take it off? Should I take it off? Oh, the writing, like they're gonna pick me. They're gonna pick me. I just know they're gonna pick me. Anyway, she left it on, and he picked it. And then she went, "Why did you pick it?" And he went, "Oh, the phone case." So then, fast forward week after. We go out, and basically as soon as we got back to our room we were like, should we send her money? Like, I feel really bad about it, but we all bought in. Amy had the same thought anyway. We didn't, but said it was fine. Go out the next week. So because she paid, she got to pick the restaurant. So we're now in like Twickenham. We go out and we did it the other way. So Abby Ward was like, oh, the jeopardy, let's get them to take a phone away. So it's not the first one
It's
they
the last
pick,
one
it's
left.
the last one left. So all our phones on the table, we like line them up. Bots takes her phone case off. So she's like really flapping about this phone case. So she's like cleaned all her phone up, put it on the table, phones down so you can't see anything on them. First one to go, Scaz's phone. And we were like, why
Basically, I got so much grief the week before because I think it's a 12 mini. I know.
Sorry, what?
I know.
Sorry, but the reaction in the crowd to that one, that is the best.
So it's like a mini one. So
How-
it basically looks like an iPhone 6. So I get a
It
lot
looks
of
like
grief
an
for it.
you know, like the old
So everyone was like, "Oh, your iPod Nano's going to get taken,
Yeah.
isn't it?"
brilliant.
So I was getting loads of grief. And basically on the second night, mine got taken first. And they were like, "Just out of interest, why did you pick that phone?" She was like, "Oh, because it's small. I felt sorry for it."
Brilliant. And we were like, she's the richest out of all of us. So ironic, really. But anyway. And then, so she takes away Abby's, takes away Amy's, and me and Bots are left. Bots got picked again.
Oh my goodness, bots.
Yeah. It was actually
Oh.
too funny.
I'm sorry.
It
Bless
was
her.
funny. Bless her.
And she paid the second week in a
Yeah.
row.
Yeah, she did, yeah.
Them's the rules.
I was going to say, that's going to
No,
hurt.
we did feel bad. And she was like, "If you pay me any money, I'm going to be so mad because that's not the point, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah."
And
But she gets
Obviously-
to pick in Canada, and I think we'll be going to quite a bougie
Yeah.
restaurant.
Also,
And we
she gets
said-
taken out. You can't do it 3 times
Yeah,
in a row.
she's
So
not
she'll
in
be
the
taken
next
out
one.
this time.
okay, that's
Yeah.
good for
Because
fairness.
that would really,
Yeah.
really, yeah.
I mean,
It would be freaking hilarious.
what are the
though.
chances? Just leave her phone in there just to see if it gets picked again so
No,
that we
I
can
know.
get the rest of the story, please.
Yeah.
The
But they're
best is
kicking
that-
off because they want us now to take driving licenses or like actual
Monzos,
cards
yeah.
because they're not happy about iPod Nano over here. They think I'll just never get picked. So
Which
For
she
those of you who don't know what an iPod Nano is, back in the day,
Preach.
long
Preach.
ago, we used to have little phones that you couldn't phone on that just played music.
Yeah.
And this was called an iPod Nano.
And some of them clicked.
They had a button. Yes, they did. Back in the
they're
day.
good.
The posh ones.
Can we talk about
The
you
ones
going to
you used to
Adele
clip
on the
on.
topic of music?
Oh my God, I would love to.
Okay.
I would literally love to do that.
Give us the
Talk to
review.
Can we
What,
get
sorry?
Adele on? She's a real big
Well, text your
sports
mate.
fan.
Yeah.
Well, I would if I could, but I don't think she'll reply to me.
She's not making music right now.
She was unbelievable. It was honestly the best thing ever. I can't even go to another concert. We went to the big festival the week after, and it just was not the same.
Can you
Naturally.
talk us through the whole story because it was a bit of a palaver and it's arguably the most expensive weekend you've ever had in your entire
Why
life.
were you trying to flog tickets and did you manage? Because
Did
I
not
still
manage.
reposted your flogging tickets post.
Did not
Oh,
manage.
you're a
So-
good friend, Elma.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. So basically what happened was initially bought tickets for Adele because we had our calendar, so obviously we're run by Rugby, so we had our calendar and we were in Monday to Wednesday. So I was like, perfect, we can go on the Friday, which was our opening weekend. Then the rest of the calendar comes out like 3 months later and we're in on the Friday. So there's no way we'll get out there in time. So anyway, booked it for the weekend after because I was like really desperate to go and see her. So we went first night, absolutely loved it. And then we had another night in Munich and we were like, should we just go again? Because obviously we've paid so much money at this point to go accommodation and flights and stuff and actually get out there.
Mo texted me on I can't remember what day it was. She was like, Scaz, we're going to Adele again. Haha, girl math.
Explain the girl math to me.
She's like, it makes sense because we're here to pay to go again. Girl math.
Because
So you paid for tickets for the second night again?
yes, because we paid so much for our accommodation and flights that we thought we'll half that money if we get to see her twice.
Girl math.
No, I'm really
That's
worried
girl math.
about your
No,
budget.
that's girl math. Have you not seen girl math?
I've seen girl math, but this is a very expensive girl math. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to have 2 coffees for the price of 1, so now I'm caffeinated up the hill.
Yeah, but genuinely, like, it's once in a lifetime, isn't it? Getting to see Adele. And obviously, everyone knew that. Yeah, exactly.
Twice in a
Getting there.
Twice in a
Getting there.
lifetime.
Getting there.
Don't ruin the punchline, Shira. Wait 5 minutes and she'll give it to us.
Is this story too long? Is it because you've heard it before?
Is it close to the end yet or
Yeah.
not? I'm not sure what how do you halve this?
Because what we went for, we got to do twice.
It's very nice. Okay, wow. So I think we need to update your Wikipedia bio immediately. Girl math queen, girl, PhD in girl math. Natasha, wait, what does your wiki says? Natasha May Mo Hunt, born
What?
21 March,
Oh, what?
is an English rugby union player who plays scrum half for
Wikipedia.
Gloucester Hartpury in England.
Wait, why?
At the
where
moment
did
it says she's also a qualified preacher.
Legend, whoever said
Who
that.
wrote that on your
Grandma,
wiki?
stop playing with my Wikipedia.
She preaches about Adele and girl math
Yeah.
primarily.
Oh, no, don't. Is it still got on there about the scrunchie?
No?
Oh, so I did an event, this was a few years ago now, with George Gulliver. So we did this event and basically someone had gone on, remember Teapot?
Yeah.
She'd gone
Oh, she
on our
changed it, didn't she?
Wikipedias when we were drunk in Gloucester one night, and she basically changed it to be like, she's known to her friends as Mrs. Scrunchy. She weirdly had a dream with Bruce Forsyth of like playing rugby, and that's how she got into it. Really freaking random. But anyway, she changed mine. She also changed Scaz's to be like, Emily Scarrett's best mate is Emily, I can't remember her surname, but whatever her surname was. And Scazzy's got changed back literally within like 10 minutes, but mine was still on there. So I rock up to this event and then this guy's introducing me and he's obviously just
Mrs.
copied
Scrunchy.
and pasted the Wikipedia page and he's going on about Mrs. Scrunchy and Bruce Forsyth. And I'm literally sat there like, none of this is true. My mate was absolutely smashed off her face, wetting herself, doing it on a night out. And I just had to sit there and take it and be like, yeah, so the girls thought Mrs. Scrunchy was a really appropriate. It was so awkward. Brilliant.
So you need to go fix the preacher bit then.
No fixing.
She's a
Thank you.
qualified preacher.
I love that.
Scazzy says she is also a certified legend.
I wrote that.
Yeah, classic.
Did you write that?
No chance. Does it actually say
It
that?
does say that.
What does that mean?
Shira went and checked your
Google it.
wiki. Thank you to V, who sent us the screen grabs. V, if you are the person who made these updates, can you please change preacher to girl math PhD student? We'd like to make
As
that.
well as, I'd like Preacher to stay.
As well as Adele Preacher.
Yeah.
Preaches about Adele's amazing talent. The one person who's not going to Canada with you is Sarah Hunter.
Sadness.
Part of the coaching staff, but has very important business to take care of.
She
not,
sure does.
not a certified legend or a qualified preacher, but soon to be mother.
Probably both.
Very cool.
Little baby shower in camp the week before the Black Ferns match, like it ain't a thing. What I did enjoy was Lou Meadows at the Women of Union launch telling us the story about how they had to get Mitch to lie to Suns about a fake
Defense
meeting that he apparently didn't lie about all that well. And then Lou had to kind of reinforce the fact that she's sure this is not going to be like super serious. It's going to be okay because Sans was so stressed about it.
Bless her, she was so
No,
stressed.
the story thickens because I don't think Lou knows the bit about the other side of the wall.
Oh, when we were in our leisure
Yeah.
meeting. Yeah. So basically, obviously, we wanted to do something nice for Suns through our baby shower. Abby Ward was all over it. She was asking our opinion on baby things, but we were like, mate, you've got this. Yeah, we believe in you.
I replied 4 days late.
Yeah, Mo replied 4 days late. A pick between a fluffy basket and a non-fluffy basket.
And I said the non-fluffy one, she'd already bought the fluffy one. So my opinion was totally wrong anyway.
Yeah, there we are. So basically, we tried to organise this baby shower. I think it was on the Wednesday, which is normally our lower day. But obviously, in order to get Suns on the right page, make sure she's not disappeared or anything, Mitch was on board. He put in a fake defence meeting in there. We have this an app where it obviously populates meetings and whatnot. Put a meeting in. So it's Wednesday morning.
He was buzzing about his role as well.
And he was like undercover agent, yeah. So Wednesday morning comes around. It's all good to go. The girls are on board. And we're in our hotel lobby. We're having like a leadership meeting. So there's about 6 of us. We're talking about said baby shower because Abby's received a message saying, from our analyst Callum, saying we might have an issue. Suns is off site tonight. Right. So little be known to us, Suns had agreed to go and do a talk, I think, or something that evening. Got it cleared by Mitch, obviously months ago, so it was in her diary, right? So we're like, okay, right, trying to figure out a new plan. Sunta then comes out and is behind like literally a bookcase like this, trying to get hold of Mitch on the phone because this defence meeting is obviously in her calendar and now clashing with something that she's already arranged to do. So she's on the phone to Mitch being like, hey Mitch, like, oh, do you remember we spoke about it? Like we can just hear kind of bits of this conversation in the background. And then obviously he hangs up and he's like, oh,
But in the
I'll have
meantime,
to figure it out.
We're having a meeting about what we do about this situation because we
Yeah.
don't want Suns to be stressed.
So it's literally, we hear Sunta go, okay, cheers, bye. And then Abby Ward's phone rings, Mitch. She's like, Mitch, obviously, we're explaining the situation. He's like, yes. And Sunta is stressed.
Sunta's still sat behind the
Sunta's
bookcase.
still there on her phone, like, obviously,
waiting
maybe
for Mitch to ring
prepping
back.
to bail on this other thing she's agreed to do or whatever. Mitch rings Abby. Obviously, Mitch isn't stressed at all. He's like, yeah, well, we'll just move that other meeting and we'll figure it out. Fine. Phone down. Sunta, hiya. And then we'd hear her go, oh, thank you so much. Is that all right? Oh, thank you. Bless you. Like being really
really
appreciative because she now thinks Mitch has moved a defence meeting.
Just for her.
But it was all because we were trying to fit in this baby shower.
This
But
party.
bless her soul, she was stressed, wasn't she?
She was stressed.
Because she's so like conscientious
Yeah.
and would not obviously want to be missing out on anything because of another arrangement. It's so funny.
It was so funny.
It was funny but not funny because she was also...
Yeah, it was
She
actually
was so stressed.
She
really
was
stressful.
going
We
through
were
it.
like, should we just tell her? Should we just tell her now?
Yeah.
She's panicking way too much. It's
Yeah.
not fun anymore for anybody.
No, I know.
On the topic of kids, if you don't have any and you think it's all just fun and games, and the level of stress that Sarah Hunter is going through is nothing in comparison with what Katie daley-mclean's life is like. We asked Katie daley-mclean before the live show, Shira did, the collective us, the royal we, not like the king hugging one, but the other one. She was supposed to send us a voice note to explain what facing the haka is like and whether she had any stories that she'd like to tell, anecdotes that she'd like to relive about the prospect of facing
Has
the
she
haka.
been video noting you?
Not
'Cause
video noting.
She loves a video note now.
Loves a video note.
I sent her one and she was like, oh my God. And now every like couple of days I get a video note of basically her chin and her nose.
Yeah, and the underside of the nostril. This time there was no visual accompaniment.
Sorry.
Just a great bit of this is what getting voice notes from Katie daley-mclean is really like.
So my personal favourite is Isha Rugby Club, 50th cap. As you can imagine, a bit hyped for it, 50th cap. I think I was England captain in the day. And we never really talked about what we would do around the hacket. Oh, hang on a minute, gotta go.
That's it. There it is.
Did she reply later on and finish?
Yeah, there was a very long explanation of a child going rogue.
Yeah.
If you listen to the voice note again, right at the end, you can in the background make out
Yeah.
a tiny little voice going.
The twins are at such an age where now they are just going mental. Yeah.
Class.
Good luck, Sarah Hunter. Hopefully it's a conscientious baby that takes after mummy. Apparently one of them, the whole story was one of the children took their wellies off and was hauling across the park. What is so funny about
You
this?
need to say that in a less South African accent.
What did I say?
One of the children took their willies off and then was hauling across the park. Sorry, is that
She still doesn't get it.
Why is it funny?
willies?
Willies?
Sounds like you're saying willies.
Oh, willies.
Sorry.
They didn't take the
What did I
willies
say
off,
3
no.
times?
You're in your South African voice.
So Katie daley-mclean did tell us a great story about facing the haka eventually at the live show. She did also pull one of the children out of the crowd to come and face her.
Is that what that was?
The story. Yeah,
Funny.
that's where the picture came from.
Very cool.
The highlight for me of the Gloucester game against France was the shed.
Eoring. Do you think the French knew what an Eeyore was?
What is that?
Isn't donkey language universal?
I don't know. Is it?
Donkey language.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
What is the reference? Can
Well,
someone
like-
explain it to me?
Oh, go on, Mo. I think Mo's will be better
sorry,
than
no,
mine.
I was
Do you
like,
speak donkey
no,
language?
but I was like, if a chicken goes in like one language, surely that's the same in another. Is it? Or do they have accents?
Do they go?
How does a French go?
Le mou. La io.
Oh, God.
Do some more. Be a frog.
So
What else do I want to hear?
why did the shed
Be
go
a dolphin.
io? At
If
the
you drop
French.
something like, if you drop a ball, it's like, or like you're a donkey. Does that make sense? Is that a good analogy? Yeah, like if you hit a kick and it's meant to go like miles and then it just comes off the side of your boot and it goes out, then it's like, that's rubbish. So they Eeyore. I love it.
The French girls were 19 points down. I mean, it's
No,
not
it
necessary
doesn't
to
matter.
Eeyore at
Gloucester
them.
takes no prisoners.
There are no prisoners. It's. I think it's because they're just pure rugby fans, and if you mess up, then you're getting it.
They are.
They do it to us as well.
The
I
home
think.
team.
I think so. Yeah. I think
was
if
gonna
we do
say
something
when.
rubbish. Yeah.
I've been there for like your final. Everyone was very excited and
Yeah.
glowing.
That's 'cause
but
they were winning.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
were winning, yeah.
We saw you in Gloucester in your in our matching Wimbledon outfits.
And my Wimbledon suit.
Did
Was
a
that
little-
not your highlight?
a slightly autumn redo with a little
Yeah.
under top.
Yeah.
I saw you.
Yeah, she rewears. She, you know, it's an
That's okay.
It's the sustainability drive.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
How was it?
It was good. Mitch was quite angry in the post-match interview. I'm quite relieved that didn't go out on the BBC. It did go to the world feed, so it could have gone out in any other part of the world. He was angry at the ref. And then I said something in the post-match interview about there being quite a bit of rotation in the Six Nations and kind of said, so can we expect a very different team for the Black Ferns? And he was like, I actually disagree with you.
And that was the answer.
He was like, actually, Alma, no, I disagree with you. There were 1 or 2 changes in the first 2 weeks, but in the last 3 rounds of the Six Nations, we're big on trust and faith, and people need to know where they stand, and we're very transparent and progressive, and we communicate. And I was like, oh, okay.
Well, you know where you stood.
I was like, whoa, okay, sorry, Mitch, sorry. Did you know where you stood? Did you know before the French and the Black Ferns game who was going to start which one? Did you know?
Some people did.
The front row,
The front row.
swappies.
The front row knew. Some people may have done. I personally didn't. Did you?
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. So he didn't chop and change his mind a lot. If you did see that, I was incorrect. I'm sorry, Mitch. Shall we quickly look at where you are on the log now? In the world, number 1, England, 96.9 points after these 2 big wins. New Zealand, second.
Has that gone up much after the wins?
I'm not actually sure. Canada, 89.3. Now, this could change because all 3 of you are playing in
I don't
WXV1.
know what that was.
What just happened?
Sorry.
Where it has been all change is in the middle.
Sorry.
Where it has been all change is in the middle area of the log because Scotland beat Wales 40-14 at the Hive and they beat Fiji 59-15 at the Hive. South Africa obviously played the Barbars back at home and Ireland beat Australia 30-16. So what this did is Scotland for the first time ever ranked 5th in the world.
Get it?
They are almost 11 points behind France, who's in 4th. So 1, 2, 3, 4 are all quite close. Then there's almost 10 points. Then Scotland is 5th with 76.7 points. And the difference between 5th and 10th is 3 points. That's wild. I mean, there's between, for example, USA and Ireland, 7 and 8, there's a 0.38 points difference.
Quick maths.
Is this important for the World Cup? Like, will these rankings?
Yes.
It is.
It is. And let me tell you
spicy.
why.
Let me tell you for why.
Come on.
It's coming
Tell
back
me
to
for
me.
why.
It's
Yes.
something to do with
Get into that archive.
yeah.
Dig.
Dredging.
It's loading. It's because it's
It's something to
just
do with
a lot of
iPod
chuffing
Nano.
in
the World Cup draw.
Yeah.
So it'll be done like teams ranked 1, 2, 3. Will there be 4 pools? We all went there. 4.
Yeah.
Draw 1, as it were, tier 1, and then where did I get to? 5, 6, 7, 8 will be like tier 2, I think. So then it obviously could affect who you come up against.
Yeah. And that'll affect whether you end up in the pool of death.
Yes.
Because if a very strong team ends up in a strange spot on this log.
Yes.
So, for example, at the moment, if you do have 4 pools, England will be in a pool with Scotland, New Zealand will be in a pool with Australia, and Canada will be in a pool with
But
Ireland.
aren't the tier 2 then drawn randomly?
Yeah, no. So I'm just saying for the
EG.
sake of the
For an
argument,
EG.
for example.
Yes.
But this is what happened in the Men's World Cup last year, where we had like danger pools, where like loads of really strong teams ended up together.
Which is why
So this
WXV
is really important.
because I think the draw happens, doesn't it? Basically afterwards, so before anyone else plays again.
So we're going to be keeping
Very
hawk
close
eye
eye on the log.
on the table, as you call it. The 2023 draw was done in 2020. I still lived in South Africa. I did it with Hugo Monnier remotely during lockdown.
Whoa.
But the rankings in the men's game changed so much from 2020 to 2023 that you then ended up with these concentrations of really strong teams in 2 pools, and then 2 pools who just didn't have very high ranked teams in them.
Mad.
Unfortunately. Speaking of unfortunate things, the news about Emma Wassell's tumour in her neck absolutely knocked me for a 6. I couldn't... You know when you read something on Instagram and you go, this can't be right? No. So the backstory, if you aren't following Emma Wassell, she lost her mum during the Six Nations this year. Her mum passed away. And then she went to hospital thinking that she had a piece of bread sourdough stuck in her throat.
Which, if you know Was, is quite likely because she does love her bread.
And then she proceeds to explain that she wrote down Rhoda Lloyd, her teammate's name, as her next of kin in the hospital. And she has now been diagnosed with a tumour.
So she got a tumour in her chest. But obviously, when you first find out something like that, you also have no idea. Well, you have no idea about anything.
No.
So I think for quite a few weeks, nobody knew anything. She didn't know anything. And it was, obviously an incredibly scary and tough time for her. I think like her teammates were unbelievable because they were obviously in camp, in and out of camp, but up in Scotland. So I know like Scotty, Nels, Bonner, Rona, they've all been basically there for her, feeding her at times and looking after her, taking her out once she was back up on her feet a little bit. But she's really been through it. She's obviously still awaiting surgery, as she said in her post. And obviously once that's done, then hopefully everyone will know a bit more and it all goes well and we get to see her back on her feet. But honestly, this girl is one of the strongest people you will ever come across. She is bonkers. She has this crazy ability to just see positives, create smiles. Like I've been voice noting her for a good couple of weeks and she'll just say things that you're literally like, and I don't know what frame of mind she's in, and then she'll reply with something and you're just like, you're crazy. But lots of love to her. Yeah,
so much love from all of us, sending Emma Wassell the best wishes. And she is such an important character, and I know that she will be motivating the team even remotely when they're away. Let's chat Olympics quickly. Ilona Maher and the Sports Illustrated shoot. And the
Isn't
video
that mad that the Olympics was so long ago now?
That she has done a Sports Illustrated swimsuit shoot, an Access Hollywood red carpet where Reese Witherspoon recognised her and was
she's on
excited about
Dancing with
seeing
the
her.
Stars.
And now she's doing Dancing with the Stars.
Has she done the first night now?
Yes.
Did anyone
She
see
has.
it?
I think
Yes.
Did you
She
see it?
Yeah.
Was she good?
Yeah, she was decent. I mean, she's obviously not a dancer, but she was decent. I was like,
Love
damn,
that.
look at you,
That's
girl.
class.
Also, the video where she's standing holding her one breast and goes, yeah, it's fine, come on through, to people obviously on stage.
Sorry, but what was that swimsuit in the first place?
Have you not got one of those?
What swimsuit?
Would you like to speak to the manager, Scazzy?
They took this part of it and put it on her arm.
Is that actually what happened? Sorry, I didn't see it actually.
She did have like a sleeve as well,
Mental.
wouldn't it?
Some people
Imagine
like...
seeing that in the shop, and be like,
Have you
It's
ever
a
been
bit of me.
Have you ever been to the beach in the Mediterranean where people love having no tan lines?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why would you want
they've
one?
got half. She had half.
Yeah.
She's
And
got one out.
Would you wear that? You would wear that.
No, I
you,
probably
yes,
wouldn't.
you would. Look at you with your raised eyebrows.
do you know we once went to the beach in Barcelona with South
Yeah.
African friends and there were all of these women with their tops off. And my friend and I looked at one another and I was like, I would have done it if you weren't here. She's like, yes, I would have done it if you weren't here either. Because both of us had our husbands with us.
You prudes.
It would have just been so weird, like lying there with our
Why?
South African friends, with her husband and my husband, and both of us with our tits out. I just couldn't imagine it.
You got Elma to say with our tits out.
It would just have been so weird. I mean, I'm happy with everyone else showing off, but yeah. No, we will not be rolling around with that weird one boob
But anyway,
swimsuit.
She looked fantastic.
Sensational.
She's doing crazy
Fantastic.
things. What a wild... How many weeks
What a
has it
wild
been
journey.
since the Olympics?
Have you tried to recruit her yet?
No.
Oh,
I think she's too big time for it. Do you know what I mean? I don't
For
think we'd be able
Gloucester.
to afford it. None of us would be paid if she came over. Look after yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Such a selfish mindset,
No, like obviously it would be awesome, but Ilona Maher is not coming to Gloucester. She's dancing with the stars. She's on Hollywood red carpets. Like she
But
ain't
she has
coming.
said she wants to play in 25.
Gloucester Keys. Do you know what I mean? That's all I can offer her. The
Gloucester
food dock,
Keys.
which is awesome. By
she
the way.
loves a baked potato.
Yeah, I can make her a baked potato, but
Speaking of potatoes, Kelly, who brought the baked potatoes and the red Gloucester cheese,
No,
didn't see her.
double Gloucester
double
or
Gloucester,
red Leicester.
red Leicester. You wanted the red Leicester.
No, I was just joking.
She
you
bought
were just
both.
being difficult.
I was joking because obviously I'm from Leicester.
So Kelly and her mates who brought the
That was the
poster, please DM us on the gram because I would at least like to send you a scrunchie because Scazzy didn't want to give you her shirt.
No, so it's not the best story, but I did end up
We're full of
managing.
them today, don't
yeah,
worry.
I know. We've absolutely peaked, haven't we? I did manage to get her a pair of shorts and a pair of socks.
Oh, I love that.
However, I'm a bit embarrassed and there probably is an apology attached to this. So when we obviously come in and we basically take our stuff off, shower. Yeah, I might do it with mine as I tell it. And we basically put all our kit in a bag, right? Kit in the bag, and then
Keep
Alan-
your shirt, kit in the bag.
Alan, our kit man, wheels it off to the van and all the stuff disappears. So we're showered up, we're leaving, and I come out and they're stood there and I'm like, beep, I forgot, right?
She just bleeped herself again.
Bleeped herself. Is it a bleep or a beep? A bleep. Bleep.
No, I don't think it's a bleep.
Really?
That's like a sheep
It's like a bar.
in French. Bleep. Came outside. You came outside.
Came outside, saw them, realised I'd completely forgotten about it. So then I went back in to try and find the kit bag. Couldn't find the kit bag. Went on the van, found the kit bag. But at that point, I'm in a bag full of other people's kit, all that's been worn. Some people shower or ice bath in it. So it's
She's just going for it like, bleep.
Good one.
Some people ice bathed in it. Some of it was really
So it's
wet.
basically wet, stinking, used. So basically, I'm ferreting in this bag. I can't obviously find my shorts or socks. What?
Ferreting. Carry on.
Rummaging.
On BBL Scaz shorts.
Yeah. So anyway, I
mean-
find a pair of shorts and socks and give them to her. But obviously, I don't know if they're mine. I did tell her that. But also, they're arguably like a bit wet. They stink. They're gross. But is something better than nothing? I gave it to her, and then all I could think about all that evening was, is something better than nothing? I don't know. I've really questioned it.
I'm sorry, Kelly.
So if you could please let us know. I'm really sorry.
Would you like a scrunchie? Can we
As
make
I
it up to
handed
you?
them to her, I was like, you're going to need to wash these.
Bleep.
Yeah. Don't know. It's tricky, isn't it?
I'm
Yeah.
really proud of you that you went digging, though.
I did. There
That's
was a
devotion.
commitment to the cause. Yeah.
Did you-
Wiping her hand now.
Yeah,
She's not there anymore.
Did you keep the baked potatoes that you brought?
Yes.
Yeah, well done.
Yes.
Good job. And then it was the end of an era at that 66,000 fans attended Olympics because Portia Woodman retired.
Oh.
Got to give the woman her flowers. Absolute goat of the game. Not the goat, but a goat of the game. I'm not going to start fights here.
No,
right now.
unbelievable. Like what she's done for
I
women's
probably
rugby
wouldn't,
and
yeah,
the level
argue
that
at
she's
all.
maintained for her whole career. Like insane. And
Sensational.
arguably she could keep going for another few years. Do you know what I mean? Like she still has it. So yeah, fair play.
She's been unbelievable. I think like try scoring records in probably most competitions she's ever played in. I also think one of the biggest things when she did her Achilles and then came back from it, because doing your Achilles is something like for somebody like her who's fast twitch, all about pace, power, agility, to then come back from that and still maintain the levels of which she was
Yeah,
crazy
mega.
impressive. But yeah, I hope she enjoys retired life.
Superhuman effort. Thank you for all the entertainment to Portia Woodman. And then speaking of entertainment, the truncated PWR season, Momo.
Yes, which for those that don't know is if you cut the bottom of the tree and the top of the tree, and then it's the middle bit,
Which is?
like shortened.
Yes. There we go.
That's right, is it?
The trunk.
The trunk is just
Yeah.
the trunk.
Truncated.
Truncated.
Loughborough, what's your plan this season? We know what the GH girls want to do.
Come on, give it to me, BBL Scazzy.
BBL Scazzy, come on.
You didn't even know the tune a minute
I
ago.
didn't
we
even
are.
know, but I'm on board now.
We obviously, I think it's hard because I've not actually been back at club
Okay,
all that much.
table position, end of the season. Where do you want to be?
We'd love to be top four. That's
four.
what we're aiming for. Obviously, we finished fifth last season, so it has to be the target. No one's going to try and target something lower
Who'd you
than where
knock
they
out for
finished.
that?
Well, that's the great question, isn't it? But also, I do think we're in a league at the moment where everybody
Yeah.
will be targeting top four.
The way the season is, like the season starts without all the internationals back. And obviously it's a World Cup year, so the management of players through the year will also, I think, play part in it.
Defending your title, yes?
Would love to.
Even though you're down so many internationals at the start of the
Yeah,
season?
even though I just wanted to get that in early in case.
Is this your
Thanks,
excuse?
Alma. I'm glad you
Are you
picked up
making
on
an
that.
excuse?
Not making an excuse at all. Only have to be top four when it comes to it, and then peak at the right time.
Has a team done it 3 years in a row?
Never.
First ever.
Never in the women's, even in the old Prem.
Unsure about Old Prem.
I reckon Richmond must have done it
Yeah,
back in the day,
I reckon.
maybe.
Or
Helen from
Sarries.
Newbury,
We'll
can
look
you let
that
us
up.
know?
Yeah, Helen.
Helen, hit us
Helen
up.
from
Let us know.
Newbury, hit us up. Has it ever happened in the women's game in the
3 in a row.
Premiership?
It's never happened in the men's, I don't think.
Here we go. It is time for us to acknowledge our friends on the internet. We see you and we love you, even though these two, they don't pay such close attention. Neil, on the BBC website, someone called Steve asked, is there a women's rugby podcast? I can't find one on BBC Sounds. I'm particularly interested in England Red Roses. Shout out to Neil, who replied, The Good, the Scaz and the Rugby operated as both a podcast and a YouTube channel, won Rugby Podcast of the Year last year, runs in parallel with The Good, the Bad and the Rugby, and then also shared a link with Steve.
Oh, thanks, Neil.
Thanks, Neil.
Is it Neil Taylor?
I have no idea. 2 L's. Neil's with 2
I'm
L's.
not sure.
Neil.
So Neil, you are
Neil.
our favourite,
Thank you.
especially because you also shared the link. Philippa Andrews was at a silent disco, saw some flowers and wondered if they were bigger than your sunflowers, for reference.
That's
Love
class.
that.
Could you post measurements, please? Steve Klein responded to some of our stories.
We're getting into something we don't want to get into there. We're good without the measurements. Thank you. Carry on.
Steve Klein on the gram. Love your engagement. I've been following your posts regarding the last season and the amazing guests you've had. I just wanted to say one of the most poignant interviews was the day after Worcester Women folded. I was a season ticket holder, and this was Lydia's open and honest interview under such difficult conditions, and timing's a true warrior, legend of the game, and a bloody nice person on top.
Shout out.
Steve, we agree.
Can we jump in? She's back playing. Did the
She
bar
played
bars
for
at
Bristol.
Saw her score at least one try.
Set
and
another
set
up.
another up.
Yeah.
Here we go, Lydia.
Let's
The
go,
comeback
Lids.
queen.
Love that.
Yes, please.
So here for
Give
her.
the people what they want.
So, what can people expect this season? What are we doing?
More Moisms, we hope. I can guarantee you she's not run out of them. They're still coming.
Truncated or not.
they can expect a bigger and better Empower Her.
We are going to be going into camp with you guys.
When? This is fun.
You had your whole tech session earlier.
Oh, yes.
Remember?
Oh, you're not. We are.
Sorry. Sorry.
I thought you were
It
going.
made it sound
iPod
like you
Nano.
were coming with
No,
us.
the iPod Nano is going into camp with you.
iPod Nano, little microphone.
Yeah.
And you guys
What
now
else?
know how
The
to
grid.
frame. Yes, you've got grids on your
Got
cameras.
spirit level on my camera.
Spirit level. You
else
know
did
how
we
to put
learn?
it on HD.
Portrait only.
Portrait only.
You can send videos in HD on WhatsApp. That's what I learnt.
And your phone doesn't naturally store it in HD because it takes up too much memory, obviously.
Yes, obviously. Yeah. So we're turning them into influencers. We're going to be seeing a lot more of what they get up to
Yes.
in Canada.
We're going to try our
We're gonna
hardest. If you have anything you want to see, let us know.
Send
Give
your
us some
requests.
inspiration.
If
Yeah.
there is a trend, like very demure, very mindful, something like that,
Yeah,
that
let us know
pops
because
up,
chances are we will not have seen it.
Yeah.
you have to tell them, you have to brief them to
1,
do
2,
their
4,
version of this.
7, 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
We will be joined for a lot
The
more
last
rugby
time I
chat
ever do a trend, I'll tell you that for free.
and many hot takes
Oh,
because
wow.
the steering wheel will be making her return in your absence.
Yes.
Katie daley-mclean, all the way from the north, all caps, will be joining me. And then I'm not sure what we should call her, but there is another wheel
Handbrake?
coming in. The handbrake.
Yeah.
No, she's not handbrake. is
She's
she?
the accelerant.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there is an accelerant
Yeah, but
already.
you can have a handbrake off.
The absolute absence of the handbrake. Meg Jones.
There we
The
are.
opposite.
What do you want it to be?
What
A gear
other parts
stick?
of the car?
She's the convertible roof that retracts.
Yeah,
That makes it more fun.
Yeah.
That makes it more fun.
Nice.
There we go. Convertible, Meg Jones. She is joining us for some catch-ups since she's unfortunately sidelined, but she's good on the mic.
She's going to be so good.
Yeah.
She'll offer a lot of value. She obviously knows all the girls really well in terms of what's going on in WXV, and she's also got a very good sense of humour, so she'll probably take our
She
jobs.
can be the rugby.
And then what's KDM?
She's the Scaz.
Oh, okay, cool. Meg, please remember to bring the rainbow
Sorry,
sweaters
how
again.
chuffed were you with that then? She's got
Yeah.
a very good sense of humour. She's the rugby.
Yeah.
She's the rugby. I am so excited about seeing the outfits you guys will be rocking when you're not wearing your purple practice tops.
Yes.
Purple turtles.
Perfect.
I'm so excited about seeing you dominate in Canada, especially with your tiny little microphone and the iPod Nano. What is Scaz doing on her phone?
See how big her hands look compared to the phone. This is what I'm talking about. This is why the lady
That is
picked
actually
the
a
phone.
really small phone.
Do you know what I mean?
What were you checking on your phone?
Where Canada was.
She's an athlete, guys. It's okay. She's not teaching anyone geography.
But also, I was roughly right. So.
You were? You were right about where
Roughly.
it is. Longitudinally. Okay, that's very nice. We will be back with more riveting geography and many other matters, including words like truncated next week on the Scaz and the Rugby, brought to you by our friends from Vodafone, who somehow have decided to stick around, and we love
We
them
love
for it.
Vodafone.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is a Folding Pocket production produced by
Shira Kilgallen. Do, 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 do.
Yay.
That was carnage. Was that carnage?
Yes.
That was chaos.